Tyler Rogoway, who founded the military news website, The War Zone. He just commented on a video of these missiles falling in the area that we were looking at. He said many missiles made it to the ground. Unclear if it was a low-density missile defense area. Maybe they're prioritizing different areas, or if Israel is running low on interceptors, or something new in terms of Iranian tactics. So he thinks that a bunch of them made it to the ground. I'm going to also remind people with a post that for more photos and videos, you should go to my X account, because there's a lot of times there's like picture videos where I don't have the rights to show on the air, but I can post it on my X account. For more pics and videos, see Steve's X account. See Steve's X feed. Okay, and I'm going to pin that over on YouTube. Moderators, if you could pin my message, that would be awesome, because then people know they can check that out. I'm going to post a link to Tyler Rogoway's post with OSINT Technical's video in the chat right now. Okay, OSINT Technical, who I think is reliable, says multiple fires at the Haifa refinery in northern Israel. I'm going to post a link to his video. So unconfirmed reports, and I think you're seeing it on the right, the lower right of the screen there in Haifa. Unconfirmed report that is from the refinery, in an oil refinery in Haifa. Breaking news. Manny Fabian of Times of Israel reports that the target of the Israeli strike in Yemen was Houthi military chief of staff Muhammad al-Gamari, according to Israeli officials. The results of the strike are unknown, and the IDF has not officially commented. Amichai Stein says that the chief of staff who was targeted would be the number 2 in the chain of command in the Houthis. Hold on a moment. I just saw something. What is this? What is this? What is that report? Where is that report? I just saw something and I can't find the original report that said it. So I want to wait until I see the actual report. Oh, breaking news, breaking news. New York Times says 2 people in Tehran they can see a massive ball of fire with high flames and smoke coming from a hilly area in the north of the city. Wow, okay. Oh, also, let me read you another report here. But this is from Farnaz Fasihi of the New York Times, who said that. Okay, so that's a New York Times report. I'm going to repeat that for you. So the New York Times, Farnaz Fasihi says, first of all, that 2 people in Tehran say they can see a massive ball of fire with high flames and smoke coming from a hilly area in the north of the city. She also says residents in Tehran say that the fire is terrifying and it's massive. Also, a witness tells the New York Times that The gasoline depots are exploding one after another. It's loud and scary. Now, I don't take that to mean that there's some sort of attack on the gas depots. My guess is that that's related to the fire. I don't know, but it's in that the witness who said that also said that huge fire is massive. So my guess is that it has to do with that big fire. So multiple reports of a big new fire, a terrifying, quote, fire in Tehran.
11 labs.
And I think we're seeing a fire in Haifa, Israel, on the bottom right. Some reports claim it's at a refinery. But while the Iranian missiles were coming in, Israel, it was kind of odd. The Israeli military posted while the Iranian missiles were coming in that they were at the same time attacking Tehran. Normally, if it was just a regular attack on Tehran or a regular attack on a city, they wouldn't post that. Normally, if they post that they're attacking a city, there's some sort of significance to the attack. So we don't know what the attack was in Tehran. Hang on a second here. Oh, are there possible injuries as a result of the Haifa strike? Let me try to get better information on that. But again, on the lower right of the screen, it looks like you are seeing part of a fire there in Haifa. Looks like it. Oh, smoke seen in Tehran. ISNA posted smoke seen in Tehran now. I'll post a link to that. That's an Iranian news outlet. There's a lot happening right now, guys. A lot is going on. Home Front Command of Israel says, end of stay. Home Front Command just said you no longer have to stay in close proximity to your protected area. That's new from Israel Home Front Command. They just announced that you no longer have to stay next to your protective area. Okay? So that would suggest that for now at least, Israel doesn't think there's another wave of Iranian missiles coming right away. Al Jazeera says Israel Channel 13 citing Israeli ambulances says 1 serious injury and 5 minor injuries in the Western Galilee, northern Israel. We have heard reports that for example, we heard Manny Fabian of Times of Israel reporting that Israel has attempted to assassinate the number 2 in the chain of command in, I believe he's the number 2 in the chain of command in Yemen, the chief of staff of the military. And again, the IDF says for now in Israel you can leave your, you don't have to be right, you don't have to be in your protected area. Or you don't have to be close to it. What was the exact message? Home Front Command said, oh, hold on. Yes, IDF says, the Home Front Command published, it is now permitted to leave your protected spaces in areas across the country. So the IDF says that. I'm seeing some reports claiming, what is this? Man, what happened? What did Israel hit? I'm seeing some unconfirmed reports that maybe oil and gas related targets have been hit in Tehran. It's unclear, but I've seen a couple of unconfirmed reports claiming this. Remember, Israel said a short while ago that it was attacking. They actually said we're attacking Tehran. Normally they wouldn't announce that unless it was a significant attack. Okay. Israeli strikes on Tehran. In Tehran and Yemen reported after new wave of Iran missiles. Oops, there's a letter that's missing. So, what did Israel hit in Iran? What did they hit in Iran? The New York Times says that this wave appears to be the first wave that was aimed at the northern city of Haifa and its environs. Oh, wow. I just saw a report here. Hold on a moment. Oh, I guess we're going to see, we're about to see Netanyahu with the security cabinet coming up on the top of your screen. Hey, the New York Times says that people are screaming in live town halls in the social media application club in Tehran that their areas are being struck with multiple missiles. Wow. Wow, that's a kind of a scary update. Scary picture you get. Again, that's a New York Times update from Farnaz Fasihi. But hold on. Again, that's not Ramallah on the top, by the way, anymore. I want to repeat that. The New York Times is reporting that there are a couple of suburbs that appear to have been attacked in Tehran, and they say that people are screaming in live town halls that their areas are being struck with multiple missiles. That's Tehran. There is, we're seeing video right now from Israel of Netanyahu with the security cabinet. This is video from Israel that they have released of Netanyahu meeting with the security cabinet, with some people blurred out. Just so you can see it there. It's just like a short clip. All right, I'm going to get rid of that video. We don't need that video anymore. We don't need that video anymore. I'm going to get maybe the Modine video up there. I'm going to put a different video up on the top there. I'll cover the protest when I get a chance. There's plenty of time to cover the protest. But we got some urgent news going on from the war, and we're going to stick with that right now. We're going to cover multiple things. I'm not switching over right now. It's not the time to switch over. Okay, this is a video from Modine. No, that's not Ramallah. It is, I think, Modine. Modine is a city in Israel, central Israel. Oops. Okay, now let's get back and get you some updates. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So much happening. Faytux News just posted a video of fires burning in Tehran following Israeli airstrikes. He says there are reports that oil depots have been struck. Check out I'm posting a bunch of stuff on my X account, okay, that I don't have the rights to show you here. But you can check it out on my X account. The link should be posted in the chat, pinned. I believe we are seeing a fire on the lower right of the screen in Haifa. I'm not positive. I'm not positive what that fire is, but there's reports of a fire in Haifa. Joe Truzman, breaking news. Joe Truzman, who's a Middle East expert, posted a video of a fire in Iran. And he said it is the Sharon oil field in western Tehran. According to Joe Truzman, did my post work? According to Joe Truzman, the Sharon oil field in western Tehran is on fire following Israeli strikes. I've been hearing earlier today that Israel started going after... hold on a second. I have some video I want to try to show you. This is not live video, though. I'll have to get that when it's... Remind me in a minute. I'm going to download a video in a minute to show you of missiles coming in from earlier. I don't even know if that's as interesting as the one I showed you. No, that's a good video. I have a good video to show you, but I have to download it in a minute. I had seen reports today earlier that Israel had begun attacking energy-related targets in in Iran. And now they're going to start doing that more. For example, Yaroslav Trofimov of Wall Street Journal had said earlier today, Israel has begun striking Iran's energy infrastructure, so far very limited, but a major signal. So are we going to start seeing more of that? What is this here? Okay, I have an update on injuries from the most recent wave of strikes by Iran, the missiles. I think I do. Yes. Here is the update from Israel's Emergency Medical Service. Following the recent missile alerts, MDA teams report about 14 injuries at the scene in a two-story house in the Western Galilee, including one in critical condition and the rest with varying degrees of injury. So it sounds like a house may have been hit in the Western Galilee in Israel in the latest missile strikes by Iran. The Western Galilee would be in northern Israel, but on the other side of the country from Haifa. There is so much happening. There is so much happening. And I haven't even gotten to the protests. But there's important things going on right now. Israel has launched some kind of significant attack on Tehran. We're trying to figure out what's happened there. Breaking news. Iranian state media says Shahran oil depot and a fuel tank in the south were targeted by the Israeli regime, but the situation is under control. So Israel says, Iran state media admits this, and then they claim that the situation is under control. They say the situation is completely under control. Shahran Oil Depot. Hold on, I want to get this. This is in Tehran, right? Yeah, there's a Shahran oil depot in western Tehran. They say the situation is under control. But they have a picture of, where is it here? That's Fars News Agency. They say the amount of fuel in these two tanks is not high and the situation is completely under control. So that's interesting. Again, Iranian state media is now admitting that Israel targeted the Sharon fuel depot in Tehran and a fuel tank in the south, I believe that's southern Tehran. And they say they were targeted by the Israeli regime. They say the situation's under full control. They say, according to the initial reports, they say the amount of fuel in these two tanks is not high and the situation is completely under control. They also have a picture of a big fire. Joe Truthman, as I mentioned, also reported that the Sharon oil field in western Iran is on fire following Israeli strikes. He posted a picture of a pretty bad fire. Just so you know. I have another video of a big fire at the Sharon oil depot. I wonder if I can find that on a map, on the Google Maps, and show it to you. I don't know where it is on a map. Oh, Cheyenne Sardarizadeh posted John Marquis' geolocation of the strike. Okay, I'm going to show you on a map. Thanks to them, where this oil depot supposedly is. Supposedly. I got it. Okay, so again, this was a person named John Marquis did this geolocation, and Cheyenne Sardarizadeh of BBC posted it. So I'm going to assume it's correct. I can't guarantee it, but this is supposedly where this oil depot is, and I'm going to put it on the screen right now. There. And I'll show you here. That's what it supposedly looks like. And that is in looks like northwestern Tehran. Right there. Now let me just make sure that's the did they say that's the Sharon one or a different one? No, they're saying that's right. They're saying that is the one that was struck in Tehran. Hold on. There. So, again, maybe this is it. But a huge fire there, huge fire going on. We're seeing multiple videos. Oh, another video, I'm going to post it in the chat for you guys, from Joe Truzman, of the big fire at the Sharon oil depot. Now, he says western Tehran. That one on the map seemed more like northern Tehran. Hey, let me just thank a couple people. Thank you to Trade Talk. Hold on. Before I thank anybody, let me just make sure of something here. Breaking news. GLZ radio reports that one person has died and 13 were injured when an Iranian missile in the last wave had a direct hit in Tamra. There's some videos showing, wow, it's crazy. There's some videos supposedly showing this direct hit floating around. Tamra is Israel, oh, that's in the north. That's actually northeast of Haifa, near Haifa. Okay, let me show you where that is. Here is Tamra. It's not far from Haifa. Just about maybe 10 miles from Haifa, 5-10 miles from Haifa. But in the latest wave of missiles, there was a missile that hit, I believe, a house in Tamra, and 1 person are dead, 13 injured. Oops, sorry. A reporter with N12 says the woman killed in Tamra was around 20 years old. Three people died yesterday in Israel in Iranian missile strikes. You know what? My chat became a little frozen, so I got to open it up again. Hang on one moment. We're bringing you the latest updates. A quick thank you. Can I say a couple quick thank yous here? I'm so behind. First of all, thank you to our moderators. We have moderating right now Janet B. Thank you so much, Janet. I really appreciate it. And also we have moderating Bastion Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, David Green, LB Prairie Don, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai 3, Mick Britches, Papa Bear, and Surly Dev. Thank you. Paul Anderson, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, thanks. Linda Bell, Clary, and Misha, thank you for modding so much. Also, thank you to Trade Talk Farsi, who says they're from Iran. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your support. Turned Off, Peasy Papa Zulu, Brad Larkin. Yeah, Brad, I had posted earlier on my X account that there was a reported fire at the Marathon Oil, some facility there in Texas. There were some local evacuations, I believe, there. If you want to see something about that, go to my X account because I had posted something about it there. Thank you, Brad. Mitchell Pilot. Thank you. Carl West, Ghost Hunter. Kiwi, Kerry Poteet. Robert D. Ark Wolf, This Child's Life. Inventing America podcast. Is that what that says? Hold on. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little behind on thanking people. Veronica, Mark Barnes, Joseph LeBlanc, Teresa Emery, Matt McQuinn, Retro Man, Just Mike, Leal Dahan, Abby, Lambor Event, Gooch Booch, Steve Sutton, Carl Burrow, Inventing America Podcast, Donna Smith, Interactive Jackson, Kindred N, Mitchell Pilot, Don Renegade, Weaselman, Daniel 230, White Power Ranger fan, Fabian Exceedy, Leor Engelstein, Ray Paul's Picks, Ellen Zen, Holly Gardner, Willow, Omni, Fragulis Moralitis, Alec, Martin Gingrich, DeShark, Billy Smith, Actually Dan, Keith. Got to catch up here. Thank you. Wildfire Equestrian, I Hear Crickets, Matt McQuinn, Kari, Susanna Branch, Hannah H., thank you. And over on Twitch, thank you W. Lank, Belvergessen, Kenny K. 22298, Stuxoid, Jen Junkie, Peter John, Sterling 753, I is an element, James R. Hendon, and more TV Icker Sr. All right, let's get caught up again. Again, a wave of missiles, Iranian missiles. Another wave came in. One of them hit a house near Haifa, and reportedly, and one person is dead and 14 injured. And Israel has conducted strikes in Iran. Reportedly, an oil depot is on fire in Tehran. Also, Israel reportedly has carried out an assassination attempt against the number 2 in the chain of command in Yemen. Number 2 Houthi chain of command. Let's see here. Hold on a second here. Al Arabiya has more photos. There's a lot of photos going around that are purport to show fire in Iran from Israeli attacks. Fire in Tehran. This Jerusalem video sound is annoying me with all these people talking. Turn it down a little bit. Let me download the video I said I was going to download for you guys. Give me a moment here. There's a video I wanted to play you of the recent missile attack by Iran. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. Oh, there's 2 videos. No, 1 video. No, 2 video. 1 video right here. Where is it here? Birkin, that's the one. Palestinian territories. I'm downloading that video right now. I'm going to show you a video in a minute, a different video taken from Birkin in the Palestinian territories of the missiles coming in during the last wave of missiles. Jonathan Conricus, who you might remember as the former spokesperson for the Israeli military a couple of years ago, he just posted, looks like Iran and Israel have decided to strike oil and gas targets, Haifa and Tehran, escalating this conflict beyond military targets.
Yo.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news.
I'm telling you, bro, this nigga's
Breaking
spicy. He's
news
fucking
from an
ass,
Israeli
bro.
reporter,
Like,
Hillel Biton
hasn't been on in
Rosen.
a minute, but
Israeli
don't tell him I
reporter
said that shit, you know what I'm saying, when he comes back, bro.
Breaking
you know?
news.
So.
Here we go. Hold on. I got breaking news for you.
Oh shit, Spicy's in here.
Oh, what the fuck? Why didn't you say that?
Where you been, bro?
We're talking
Havoc's
about
been missing you, bro.
bro.
Havoc mentions you every day.
Breaking news. This is from Hillel Biton Rosen, a reporter
Man, you got
with Channel
campaigning,
14
you fucking left, bro.
in
What happened?
Israel.
Still.
Here is what he
Still
says.
in shadow ban.
He
Oh,
says,
shit, that shit ain't coming off, bro. What you talking
dramatic
about?
attack in the Iranian capital. Our planes, he
I
means
missed you too,
Israel's
bro.
planes,
Where you been?
attacked a total of 4 targets. The Ministry
Man, you've been
of
gone so long,
Defense,
Savage had another
the
kid, bro.
nuclear
His name's
headquarters,
Josh.
nuclear laboratories, and oil facilities. I'm going to repeat that. Hillel Biton Rosen, Israeli reporter, says Israeli planes attacked 4 targets in Tehran: the Ministry of Defense, the nuclear headquarters, the nuclear laboratory, just nuclear laboratories and oil facilities. Wow. Wow.
Yo, Spicy is the. Could you hear like the missile bombings and shit or no?
What?
Wait,
Could you
where's this
hear?
nigga from?
Can you hear or see the missile bombings where you at, bro?
Yeah.
Oh,
can hear 'em?
guys, I just saw this. Wow.
Fuck.
I'm going to post the link
Where
in
you
the
from,
chat for you.
Spicy?
BNO News just posted this. BNO News is reliable. They say
shit.
the gunman who shot
Is it
2
still going
Minnesota
that- is it still
lawmakers
go-
was
I'm
wearing
loving
a
streaming.
latex mask, and it was
is it
captured
now?
on a security cam. I just posted
what?
the link for
Live
you in the
streaming.
chat.
Oh, you're gonna go live stream in Israel?
Yes.
When?
And BNO said in the background you can see the fake police car with
What'd
the
you say?
lights on, emergency
So 1
lights on.
second.
Oh.
I sent you the link.
I bet I'm gonna watch you, bro.
That's so
Make
crazy.
sure you don't get nuked though. Make sure you take
Again,
your Xanax with you.
I just posted the link.
What?
Make sure you take your GPR.
Yes, the picture of him like that. The picture
Yeah.
of him like that is actually in the
You guys know
wanted
about
photo.
that, bro.
Hang on a moment. I gotta get this wanted photo.
This
Hold on
nigga
a
didn't even
second.
get to rage, and he got fucking campaigned.
Fuck, dude.
The picture with the latex mask on is in the official wanted
was
photo.
wild, bro.
photo.
I'm checking now.
You know who's been missing you though, bro? Shocks, man. He's been
Yeah. he
Talking
messaged
about-
me
Yes,
today.
Cash Patel just posted it. No, FBI Most Wanted posted it. Crazy. Look at this. Look at this. I'm showing you right now.
Yeah, that
Oh
shit
my
won't-
gosh, it's crazy.
Jokes.
Here he is.
He's AFK
This is
right now.
him.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
not
him.
here.
FBI Most Wanted. Look, he's wearing a
He's over
latex
there sitting on a
mask.
pipe.
He's wearing a latex mask.
He's
Right
getting piped down.
there.
Hold on. Pipe down. Hey, Yobs, what do you use
That's
for
from the FBI.
for the AMS to rage? The what barrel? The long barrel or the reinforced?
I use the ink with no attachments.
Unbelievable.
Use what?
The ink with no attachments.
Here's the other one.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
How's that even a thing, bro?
What?
He literally went to their houses, dressed as a police officer
For real?
with a fake police car
That's wild.
and wearing a latex
Cap
mask.
City. Cap City. Cap City.
That is unbelievable. That picture is literally on the FBI's Most Wanted page as like be on the lookout. And B&O says that the vehicle in the back, I guess, is his police car. Is that it? Or maybe you see it. Maybe that's it right there, and you're seeing the reflection of it. I'm not sure. That is unbelievable. He's still on the loose. $150,000 reward is being offered. No, $150,000 or $50,000. $50,000 reward is being offered for info leading to the arrest and conviction of Vance L. Bolter, suspected of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses at their residences. Today, we covered that, but again, it's crazy. He literally wore a latex mask. Now, it doesn't use the words latex mask in this post. B&O News has that latex, but I mean, certainly I think it's pretty clear that it's a mask. Molly Morgan says it was Friday the 13th. Well, today's the 14th. This was technically done on the 14th. Well, that is just absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think there's more shots of him too, floating around from that camera. But anyways, I wanted to update you on that. Before that, I was mentioning to you, hold on a second. The New York Times reports that a major fire has caused, the New York Times reports that a major fire apparently caused by explosions at a major fuel depot is spreading and lighting up the mountains around Tehran. The New York Times reports Israel attacked Tehran's main gasoline depot in the northern mountain slopes area, setting off massive explosions, according to an official at the oil ministry. The official said the depots were exploding one after another and threatened to significantly damage residential neighborhoods in the area. And they say that a resident who lives across the street said the explosions felt like an earthquake. Crazy. Also, New York Times reports that the depot has at least 11 storage tanks. And it's in a densely populated and affluent neighborhood. I showed you before online, I shouted out the person who did it. I'll do this again, where that oil depot supposedly was. And it was north of Tehran. I have it right here. So just to give that person credit again, that was... So Cheyenne Sardarizadeh of BBC reposted this reposted the geolocation of the Israeli strike by John Markey. Oh, John Markey is an open source investigator. He sometimes works with New York Times and BBC Africa Eye. So according to him, this is where that oil depot is, and it matches the description the New York Times just gave. So look, it's right here, and you can see it's it's near the hill, near the mountains, but there's Tehran. It's in northern Tehran, and it's that reportedly is it right there. And there are 11 tanks. As the New York Times report says, there are 11 tanks. I guess they're exploding one by one, but there's all of these. I guess it's an affluent area, but it's not really isolated. There's all these residences around it, and these are the tanks are blowing up reportedly. That's in northern Tehran. Affluent, because somebody says affluent, how do you know? I literally just read the report to you 2 minutes ago. It was somebody the New York Times interviewed, I think it was somebody in Iran, an official, said it's an affluent area. Wow. So I was mentioning to you that Hillel Biton Rosen, Israeli reporter, says that Israel attacked in Tehran 4 targets: the Ministry of Defense, the nuclear headquarters, nuclear laboratories, and oil facilities. Amichai Stein reports that an Israeli source confirms to the Jerusalem Post that Israel struck the fuel terminal near Tehran. Michael Horowitz reports that air defenses are activated once again above Tehran. That was just 7 minutes ago. Wow. Magen David Adom Emergency Medical Service says that in the Western Galilee, about 10 miles from Haifa, I think it was, in the last wave of missiles fired by Iran, there was a woman in her 20s who died when a missile strike caused damage to homes. She was pulled from the rubble, they said. Not good news. Oh, Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz. Look what he just posted. Israel Katz is the Defense Minister of Israel. He just posted this 11 minutes ago. He said, Tehran is burning. Tehran is burning. Before 9 hours ago, he said, if Khamenei continues to fire missiles at the Israeli home front, Tehran will burn. Well, now he says Tehran is burning. Times of Israel reports that Jordan has closed its airspace again until further notice. For the second time since Israel launched a surprise assault on Iran, Jordan has closed its airspace until further notice. Oh, did the Israeli military confirm some more? Hold on a second. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. Mayor, 15 minutes ago, Mayor News Agency State News in Iran said Iranian defense is currently engaged in a conflict with the Israeli regime's hostile drones. And they posted video of air defense. That was 15 minutes ago. What is this? Oh, let me show you this video I have. This is a video of the of some missiles coming in from earlier, from Birkin, the Palestinian territories. So when we started the stream today, there was a missile attack on Israel by Iran. So I want to show you this. This video here from AFP. It's probably going to play in a loop. This is some video from the last wave. Hang on a second. This is from the last wave. From what, an hour or two ago? I can't remember. It'll start in a second. Hang on a moment. Look at this. Wow, wow, wow. This guy. I think those are all missiles. Wow. That was from the previous wave, like an hour or two ago. Sorry. Hang on. Faytux found a report from a couple of reporters who I follow on Telegram, Israeli reporters. And let me tell you what they said. Hang on a moment here. Faytux News did a good job of spotting this. Where is it here? Hold on. That's not it, is it? Where is it here? Oh, here it is. That's it, right? I think. Where is it? Or is it a different page? Hang on one moment. I think it's a different reporter on Telegram. So if you give me 1 second, I'll pull it up here so I can look at it. Oh no, I'm already, it's Mariah Asraf and Doron Kadosh, 2 reporters from Israel, right, who I'm already subscribed to. So they reported that, where is the report here though? Oh, they say, so these reporters, Mariah Asraf and Doron Kadosh, Israeli reporters, they say that the Israeli Air Force launched a large-scale attack on Iran that included assassinations of military figures, military infrastructure, including the nuclear headquarters and Iranian fuel terminal. Al Jazeera is showing they're kind of going back and forth. They were showing some video of a fire in Tehran. Just crazy, just crazy. I don't know, something was on fire in Haifa. I don't know exactly what it is. There were reports it could have been a refinery. I haven't seen that confirmed. If I have a second, I'd like to put some video of the protests up. It's been crazy. And then that parade I don't know that we're going to cover the parade here. I think there's going to be too much going on to actually show the parade. Let me just see a couple things here. It's been so busy. Let me show you some footage from a protest real quick, from one of the No Kings protests. Where is this at? This is from Austin, Texas. Let me just throw this up there. Oops, hold on, that didn't play. Let me just throw it up there. Try this again. Let's try this again. Where is it? Right here. This is Austin, Texas. There have been a lot of anti-Trump protests today called No Kings protests. Oh, there's a Los Angeles one too. Hang on. That's from Los Angeles right there. That's Los Angeles. That's not Haifa, that's Los Angeles. I don't have a Seattle feed myself. Let me just say a couple quick thank yous. Thank you to Cody. Thank you to Cody, to Mitchell Pilot, to Weasel Man. A Sun-Loving Mom, D. And, AZ Intel's Dad, Corey Olson, Wally, Scoosebird Allen, All Sub No Dub, Trump Sword, Todd Raines, Georgia Screams, Malcolm Moore, Dev Bites, John H. for the memberships. Thanks, John H. American Woman, Todd USA, Mang Tio, thank you. Dan and Maggie, Public Safety Auditing, Game Judge Games, All That's Random, Jenny Lay, Ariane7, thank you. And Domain over there on Twitch. So we're going to keep an eye on some of these different protests. And also Israel-Iran news. Oh, here is the, let me show you some more from the Austin protests. Here is Austin, Texas. What am I hearing? That is Austin, Texas. You know, I want to shout out, apparently we have a lot of 5 and 6 year olds watching the stream, because it's funny, you know, the entire stream, basically, almost the entire stream, I have covered Israel-Iran. And I don't think I've covered the protests once, and, you know, protest is part of the title. And I switched over for 2 minutes to the protest, and I have some people in the chat saying boring, switch back to the real news. And I know that normal adults would never act like this. So it must be 5 or 6 year olds who haven't developed any kind of sense of patience and self-control and have such immediate gratification needs that they can't control themselves when everything is not being catered to them. So I do want to shout out to all those 5 and 6 year olds watching. I do appreciate you watching the channel. I would recommend watching with a parent, because we do talk about some sensitive news topics. So I love that you're interested in the news, but again, I would recommend maybe watching with a parent or an older, if an older brother or older sister or something like that. I'm going to post a video in the chat. There's some pretty crazy videos that I'm thinking are real of Iranian missiles hitting Israel tonight. So I'm going to post one in the chat right now that OSINT Technical posted, but I'm guessing it's a legit vid. That would be my guess. When I get a second, I'll post it in the chat. Hang on a second here. Hang on a second here. I got to reset one of my chat windows. But there's a crazy video of a missile hitting, which I do think is real. So I just posted in the chat. OSINT Technical posted it. You can check it out. What is this here?
Ain't no way we didn't have enough in the budget for them to have a hat. What the fuck? No, they bullied him out. That's crazy. Oh my god. Yo. Is he crying? I hope not. Oh, he's raging. Wait, is that dude like 5'5", my height? What the fuck? I thought y'all had height requirements. What the shit? I thought y'all didn't get people like me in your crew. That's fucked up, bro.
Hang on one second.
People in this shit, bro. Y'all can't do that. That's fucked up. I think I'm taller than Nava, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, that video is crazy.
What the hell?
All right.
Alright, who's got the fastest?
Anyway, so you get a sense. I've shown you a couple of the protests going on. I'll keep an eye on the protest video. You know, if we have dramatic developments, I can certainly show you more. But, you know, there's that. And then there's the one from LA I was showing you. So I'll keep an eye on it. I will keep an eye on it. All right. Oh, I think I have a Tel Aviv video again. Hey, we have the Tel Aviv video back. All right, so let's put the Tel Aviv video back up. Look, it's Tel Aviv. Oh, you know what? One of our viewers said it was not Austin. I was just going off of what Reuters was saying, so I'm sorry if I misidentified that video that I was just showing you. Hold on. That's weird. So I might have misidentified. I was just going off the Reuters. The Reuters had said it was Austin, so I'm sorry if it wasn't. Was it Chicago? People were saying it was Chicago. People in our viewer, I didn't see it. Sorry. People in our chat were saying it's Chicago, so I'm sorry if it was Chicago. Normally, I know they have been showing the Chicago protest, but normally they update on the feed. They update where the last shot is from. Yeah, everybody's saying Chicago, so my guess is it's Chicago. Okay. Quick thank you to, I just saw something right now. A couple people are posting this who I follow. Several people I follow posted something. A couple things I want to mention here. First of all, the Wall Street Journal has a report right now, and the report headline from the Wall Street Journal is, Israeli official says that Iran's supreme leader is not off limits in Israel strikes. That is an article right now in the Wall Street Journal. Iran's supreme leader Khamenei is not off limits as Israel proceeds with its campaign, said an Israeli official today. How about that? That's a headline, and it's a report in the Wall Street Journal. Hang on a second here. I saw an interesting post from, he's an energy expert for Bloomberg, Javier Blas with Bloomberg. And Javier Blas said, Israel has attacked the Iranian domestic energy industry, one gas processing plant and one gasoline depot. Neither of those impact exports, but the risk is significant. The moment one side starts blowing up energy assets, the other can think about doing the same. Hang on a moment here. Wow. Breaking news update. I just saw an update about something. Let me just tell you it here. So, Manny Fabian of Times of Israel reports that the death toll in the Iranian ballistic missile strike in Tamra, outside of Haifa, rises to 3, according to first responders. So a missile struck a 2-story home in this town, which is east of Haifa, and now 3 people have been killed in that missile strike. 3 people in Israel were killed yesterday in missile strikes. Will there be any more missile launches tonight? We will see. I have no idea if there will be more missiles incoming from Iran. The Trump parade starting soon. Maybe I'll throw some of the Trump parade in the corner. I could do that. Look, guys, I have a Trump parade feed. There it is. I mean, it's not, it's Trump, yeah, Trump holds military parade. So I'll leave that up there for the time being, just so you guys can see it here. It hasn't started yet. Hasn't started yet. I just saw AP reports the death toll in the Indian plane crash climbs to 270. So at least 29 people on the ground have died from that plane crash in India, Air India crash. Wow. Okay, we'll keep the parade up there. Oh, also I wanted to see something here. This is a parade honoring the Army's 250th anniversary. A parade requested by President Trump. I believe it starts at 6:30. I should show you the video again of when we were watching the missiles come in. I might show that in a second. Again, Israel has attacked the Sharon fuel and gasoline depot in Tehran. Reportedly, a large fire is burning. You can see the band at the parade right now. Oh, hold on. Is there a Minnesota update? Minnesota update. Minnesota update. Hold on. Is there a Minnesota update now? Right now? Hold on. Minnesota update? No, I don't think there is. On TV, they're playing something, but it doesn't seem to be live. We saw an update. Hey guys, I don't want to say this much. I'm going to say it once. This happens before. A lot of times when there's big news and we're covering a story, we start getting some new viewers, and pretty inevitable after a few days, people start getting super rude in the chat. I don't know what it is, but we don't allow it here. So if you're going to be rude in the chat, you're going to get timed out or hidden. If you want to get hidden, that's fine with me. But I'm noticing it more and more. It happens like every time I feel like we cover a big story, but it's very, very clear, very rude. I don't have the patience for it. The people, our regular viewers and people who are interested in discussing the news don't have the patience for it. So again, you're going to get timed out or hidden. I'm just telling you. So just, please just stop. or you're going to get timed out or hidden. Why? Is this live or not? I'm so confused. Oh, I see what happened here. What happened here? There's not a live update. Okay. We showed you part of a live update. The manhunt is still going. In Minnesota. Oh, the parade is starting early. Hold on. The parade is starting early. Mark Seagraves of NBC4 reports that the Army 250 parade is starting 30 minutes early due to incoming weather. He says crowd is nowhere near the 200,000 expected. There is bad weather there. So the parade is starting early. There is a drone alert in Eilat, a drone alert in Israel, hostile aircraft alert. We had some of these yesterday. A drone alert, hostile aircraft in Eilat, southern Israel. So I'll keep you an eye. Oh, is it still there or not? Is it gone? Well, let me check up on that. Yeah, it's a hostile aircraft intrusion alert. I guess it's still active. Home Front Command doesn't say it's not active. We'll keep you posted on that. They are firing off cannon. There's President Trump and Melania right there. There they are right there. You can see them on the top there. Hang on a moment here. I just looked at one weather forecast that said thunderstorms likely around 6:30 p.m. It is 6:09 p.m. right now. I don't know how long the parade's going to take. Now, they haven't started marching yet. But again, one forecast I just saw said thunderstorms likely around 6:30. Maybe I'll check the Washington, D.C., the weather radar. Hey, we have some bonus weather coverage here with Radar Omega. There's the weather radar, the rain radar. There's DC right there. There's DC. I'm not a meteorologist, so I can see this is some rain right here. I don't know if it's going to get there. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the bigger picture. Maybe I should go to MRMS. Here's a bigger picture. So DC is right here. You got some storms in different areas down there, but I don't know enough about it to say when they might come in there. And that's the local radar. Some rain. Look, there's this rain right here. All right. Anyway, something to keep an eye out for. Look, they're showing the clouds. They're showing the clouds right now. They're showing the clouds on the DC parade feed. See? I can't play copyrighted music anyway. I don't know what kind of music they're having there, but. That doesn't look cloudy. Oh, that's just a video. That's a pre-recorded video. I saw J.D. Vance there. This I'll make bigger again when they actually start marching. Guys, there are reports of an explosion in Karaj, Iran. I'm going to post a link to a video posted by Joe Truzman. But reports of a big explosion, there's a video of it floating around, supposedly in Karaj, Iran. Where is that noise coming from? Is that the Tel Aviv stream? We don't really need that loud. Report of an explosion in Karaj, Iran. Karaj is, it's outside of Tehran. So here is Iran here from Google Maps. There's Tehran. And Karaj is a little ways, maybe about 10 miles outside of Tehran. Karaj, Iran. Yeah, our viewer Cameron says it's right beside Tehran. So seeing some reports on that. We'll try to get you more updates about that. Ryan Maui, who's a meteorologist I follow, thinks there will only be widely scattered storms for the parade. He says, could be some large raindrops out of this thunderstorm blowing over DC, but only widely scattered storms otherwise. So he's saying there could be a thunderstorm soon. Oh, hold on a second. What's going on in Los Angeles? Hey, Los Angeles, I just saw a report that Marines with riot shields moved into the crowd and pushed protesters off the stairs in Los Angeles at the federal building there. U.S. Marines and National Guards. Hang on a second here. Let me show you this real quick. So that's in Los Angeles, and that's at the federal building there. There are Marines and National Guards guarding the building. Sergio Olmos said a few minutes ago, Marines with riot shields moved into the crowd and pushed protesters off the stairs. The parade is underway. Look at this. It's the parade. Guys, look at this. Throw Tel Aviv down here. I don't know why the feed is so weird. The feed is kind of iffy. Is that on the original feed? Let's see. I don't know why it's like this. Yes, that the original feed is having some issues. The Reuters is having issues with their parade feed. Reuters is having issues with their parade feed right now. That's the original. You see how it's paused there? That's not my fault. That's on the Reuters feed. I have a different feed I can put there. Reuters got to fix their feed. They got to fix their feed. I have a different feed I can throw up there. Give me a moment and I'll throw it up there. Oh no, I don't know if I can. Because I got to use, do I have to use the Reuters one? I might have to use the Reuters original one. Oh no, I can use that one. I can use that one. Reuters, what happened to your feed? I'm getting the backup feed up there now. Give me a moment. I'll have it for you in a second. Trump is saluting the military as they walk by. All right, let's get this up for you. Here we go. I'm getting it going for you. Here it is. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Let's try this again. There it is. Good. All right, here it comes. Here comes the parade. Here comes the parade. Hold on a moment here. What is happening? Why did it do that? Let's get the parade going for you. Okay, here we go. Parade. Parade. There's the parade right there. There it is. There's the parade right there. Can we get sound? Sound?
Regiment, the oldest active duty unit in the U.S. Army. Established back in 1784, the unit was dubbed the Old Guard by Major General Winfield Scott during a victory parade in Mexico City after the Mexican War. It is the U.S. Army's official ceremonial unit and presidential escort, conducting year-round tactical training to ensure the highest standards and utmost discipline of its soldiers. The unit routinely represents the U.S. Army and our nation in official ceremonies, major sporting events, and their own, the U.S. Army's own Twilight Tattoo. The Old Guard also maintains 24-hour vigil of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, while also conducting funeral services honoring our fallen heroes at Arlington National Cemetery. The regiment's 50 campaign streamer stand is a testament to its long, faithful service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. In 1775, the shot heard round the world at Lexington and Concord sparked a revolution, uniting 13 colonies and forging a continental army from farmers and frontiersmen. Against the odds, they turned the tide at Trenton and Saratoga, survived Valley Forge, and at Yorktown forced a British surrender, securing independence and giving birth to the United States of America. Before radios and field phones, sound was the signal. In the Continental Army, fifes and drums carried commands across the chaos of battle, telling soldiers when to advance, when to retreat, eat, even when to rest. That legacy actually lives on today with the U.S. Army Fife and Drum Corps, part of the 3rd Infantry Regiment known as the Old Guard. Founded back in 1960, they're the only unit of their kind in the armed forces. Performing in uniforms patterned after those worn by General Washington's musicians. Playing period instruments with patriotic precision, they bring history to life, sharing the sound and spirit of the Revolution through more than 500 performances each year, both at home and around the world, too. The Old Guard, Fife and Drum Corps, everybody. And now, from high above, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 250 years, your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights.
I'm messing everything
over
up.
120 miles an hour, the Golden Knights are using flexible wing gliders to maintain their formation. They open their main canopy simultaneously and negotiate the softest possible landing. I'll tell you, they can't hear you, but they sure can see you. You can give them a great big wave, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Knights, the finest parachuting team in the world.
We are watching the Trump-organized 250th Army birthday parade. That's what we are watching right now. We're giving you some bonus coverage of this.
Fort Sumter in 1861, a nation divided. Over 4 brutal years, nearly 2 million soldiers fought to preserve the Union. Among them, 5 future presidents and the first recipients of a brand new military decoration, the Medal of Honor. With independence won, our nation's westward expansion began. The Army moved in step, guarding settlers as native scouts lit the way. Immigrants joined the cause, and the Buffalo Soldiers etched a legacy of grit and honor across the American frontier. As they march by, a soldier's uniform signals their duty, their role, and their readiness. And by the late 1850s, official regulations outlined distinct looks, shaping the Army's identity and function across the force. Soldiers were issued 2 coats. One, a short sack coat for work and battle, with brass buttons and colored trim that marked their rank. Well, by war's end, that rugged sack coat became the soldier's uniform of choice. As the war escalated, volunteer enlistment surged. Congress authorized support for a force of up to 500,000 new troops, answering the call to preserve the Union. As they march by, representing the Civil War era of our nation's history, is the 4th Infantry Division based out of Fort Carson, Colorado.
By the way, just so you know, the U.S. State Department put out a post 9 minutes ago saying U.S. citizens should not travel to Iran for any reason and should depart Iran immediately if they are there.
From Port Cavazos, Texas, home of legends, the 1st Cavalry Division rides with pride. Born from the thunder of horse cavalry traditions of the Civil War, the 1st team forged its reputation on the front lines of history. They stormed Manila with the flying column, charged into Pyongyang as the first to breach the line and face the brutal crucible of Ia Drang, the first of 13 named campaigns in Vietnam where they proved their mettle. Today, that same warrior spirit lives on. You'll know the name, and you'll know them by their iconic Cav hats, elite soldiers, and cutting-edge equipment. Tough, fit, fearless. The 1st Cavalry Division is a lethal, disciplined force that stands ready to fight and win anywhere, anytime. And the legacy rides on. This is the Cav. Special thanks to our sponsor, Lockheed Martin.
I got to be careful with the music. I'm turning the sound off. Turning the sound off for the moment. Checking for other updates, by the way, while I do this. Let's see here. Iran is claiming that it is targeting, with drones and missiles, fighter jet fuel production facilities and Israel's energy supply centers. Maybe they're saying they did that with the last missile attack. I don't know. They say the offensive operations of the armed forces of the Republic of Iran will continue to be more ferocious and widespread if the atrocities and attacks continue. That's from Iranian state media. They stopped playing the music yet?
Wounded. The guns fell silent with the armistice of November 11th, 1918.
I'm going to be careful with some of this music here. The band is just playing a song. Well, I'm going to turn it down anyway. Music can be weird. I don't even know how long this parade lasts. I figured out you guys wanted to see some of it. hold on. Oh, about the drone alert, guys. The IDF says, following the sirens that sounded a short while ago regarding a hostile aircraft infiltration in Eilat, one drone launched towards Israeli territory was intercepted by the Israeli Air Force. So Israel says that they intercepted a drone.
Of numerous state active duty missions, including cleanup efforts following Hurricane Sandy, distribution support during COVID-19, and recently support for New York State corrections. Commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 2 Ethan Wagner and led by Drum Major Sergeant First Class Drew Gans, the band is performing Over There, written in 1917 by Broadway composer and recipient of the Congressional Gold Medal George M. Cohan.
See if we have any other updates for you. Again, in the last half hour, there were reports of an explosion in Karaj, Iran, which is near Tehran.
Nicknamed the Pershing boot, on their feet was the M918, 1918 French boot. It was designed to survive the brutal grind of trench warfare. And on their backs, the field pack, rations, ammo, first aid, and a gas mask. Everything a doughboy needed to fight and to win. Incidentally, the 42nd Infantry Division was deployed to heavy combat abroad and then deployed again in World War II, ultimately liberating the Dachau concentration camp. The 42nd responded to the terrorist attacks on 9/11. Later, with the war on terrorism, the rainbow stretched across the world again, deploying in Iraq and Afghanistan. Thundering into view, the pride of Fort Sill, the U.S. Army Artillery half section. This is literally powered by horsepower and heritage. This elite ceremonial unit honors the legacy of the Army's horse-drawn artillery. With precision, discipline, and 6 majestic horses pulling a vintage 1918 caisson, the half section keeps tradition alive and rolling strong. Representing the power, pride, and precision of America's field artillery. This is Fort Sill's finest, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to our sponsor, Form.
All right, hang on. Oh, hey guys, I'm just seeing this now. The New York Times says that Israel attacked the Shar Ray oil refinery in South Tehran, which is one of the country's largest. Oh, Tasneem said this.
The United States Army was on the front lines.
I think state media reported this.
The Pacific, the greatest generation faced down tyranny and turned the tide. From bombers to fighters to transports, U.S. Army aircraft started.
Oh, something else to mention. Well, that didn't happen.
Look up,
Sorry.
ladies and gentlemen. Overhead right now, they are fast, they are fierce, and famously used in the Doolittle raid over Tokyo. Leading up front, the mighty B-25 Mitchell.
So, state media Tasneem news agency in Iran says that Israel did target the Ministry of Defense in headquarters in Tehran. They say one of the headquarters office buildings was slightly damaged. They say the Defense Research and Innovation Organization of the Ministry of Defense was also hit. Yes. Also, Tasnim says that the Tehran oil refinery was targeted by Israel. Operational and rescue forces arrived at the scene and are trying to fully control the situation. That's different than the other oil facility. Okay? So, and according to the New York Times, I think when they say that, there's, yes, the New York Times says that Israel attacked the Shar Ray oil refinery in South Tehran, one of the country's largest. One resident told the New York Times he could see the flames from miles away. So a number of energy-related targets attacked today and tonight in Iran. Music. We will keep you updated. We will keep you updated.
The 82nd Airborne Division. The unit is best known for their bravery on D-Day, when 12,000 parachute and glider troops destroyed German supply lines after fighting for 33 days straight.
Hang on a moment. I really haven't heard more about something appeared to catch on fire in Haifa in Israel. And I didn't really hear much about what happened with that. That was after the Iranian missile attack. See if I can find some reporting on that.
Tank is here, ladies. Gentlemen, it was the cornerstone of the U.S. Armed Forces, showing its military might in World War II. It became one of the most influential tank designs of the 20th century. The M4 tank was nicknamed the Sherman tank after Civil War General William Tecumseh Sherman. Actually, it was named by the British. With almost 50,000 produced during World War II, the Sherman tank was 50,000 produced during World War II. The Sherman tank was in active service until 1957. In World War II, the M16 half-track was a force to be reckoned with. It was a self-propelled anti-aircraft weapon with speed, firepower, and grit. Nicknamed the Meat Chopper, its quad 50 caliber mount could unleash 2,300 rounds a minute. Quite devastating. It served through Korea, Vietnam, and beyond, and remains in use in U.S.